back. We've got a new item today we're going to open up. This is from Foronetry and AnySix. They've kind of combined together, so sometimes you might be at the Foronetry website, other times at AnySix. All flows up to the same company. So what do we have in here? None other than the Frunk light that says Cybertruck on it, which we'll see after we flip that piece over. But obviously comes with 2 sheets of instructions here. This should be a fairly easy install. The piece itself with the 2 wires out of the back. Then we have some extra items here. We have clips that will go on the back of these plastic pegs to keep them in the frunk. We have 2 different wiring harnesses. Looks like it comes with a little tool, pry tool. So this looks like a fairly easy install. And here I'll flip this piece over so you can see what it looks like. It's nicely packed all inside this foam. Etc. Pull that out. Yeah, very tightly packed. Okay, come here. Oh, sorry about that. I accidentally hit the button while I was struggling to get this out of the foam, but here's the piece that you can see that will light up in the front. It replaces that just kind of static front panel that says Cybertruck kind of embossed on it, so you can save your old panel. Now, I had a bit of a quandary here because I recently installed that front light bar that goes above the front bumper and kind of connects between the 2 headlights. And I did the whole procedure of taking the frunk plastic out. So I thought maybe I would just refer everyone to that other video and say, hey, if you want to see how to get the frunk plastic out, go watch this other video. I've already done it. But then I thought, well, what if you stumble across this video and you don't see the other video, and then you don't want to stop and go watch the other video? Why not have it all in one video? So I'm going to do that again in this one, but I think I'm going to do a little bit of a shorter process, or maybe just kind of highlight the key steps. And then if you need greater detail, and really it's not hard to do, but if you need the greater detail, you could refer to the other video. So with that, I need to carry all this out into the garage and get started on installing it into the frunk. All right, I'm out here and I've opened up the frunk. And of course, the piece that we're going to be removing is this piece here. And I can simply do that with a quick plastic wedge tool. I'm going to take off both of these simply by rotating and pulling out. I'm going to take off the cap here. I'm going to take off this upper plastic piece just by, well, heck, boy, that wasn't even clipped down very much from the last time it was on. This thing's probably been in and out a few times now. I can simply pull that off. There's going to be a couple of screws that are underneath this piece here. If you don't have the tie-down strap piece here, anyway, if you don't have this piece down below, you would just have plastic covers, and then underneath those are a couple of screws, and then we also have some that are up here that you'll see here, and I've got another one that's over here. It's right down here, and I'm gonna have to pull those out. And then last but not least, there is a wire attached to this that we actually are going to tap into for this install. And I'm going to disconnect that and get all of that out. So again, in the video where I installed this center light bar, you can see all the details and every step about taking all of that out. For this, I'm just going to go grab my tools and start pulling some of this off, and then show you what it looks like underneath. So stay tuned. I should probably show, at least for getting these screws out and the ones up here, these are 10 millimeter, but there's also this little tool that comes in the kit that if you want to use those, I mean, I tend to like to use a ratchet, but if you don't have one, I mean, you could pull them out, you know, with this tool as well. It's not that bad. So anyway, I'm going to pull all these out a second and then come right back and get this front plastic out of here. All right, we're back. As you can see, I've taken out both screws here. I've taken out that upper screw here, both screws here, the upper screw up here. I have taken out both of the little plastic connectors there. I have taken the cap off and the little surrounding rubber piece off of here. So now this whole piece can lift out, only being careful to make sure that the wiring harness on the back side of this, I have to unclip it from that switch. So I'm going to do that next and pull this whole piece out. Okay, as you can see, I've pulled this whole plastic piece out of the frunk. Again, easy as just taking the screws off, removing the pins, the cap, and removing this little wire, which you just kind of pinch on the side of this and pull it out. I think I actually have a close-up photo of that in the article where I was installing this light bar. So the next item, of course, is we need to get this front plate off of here. It just simply clips in. I just reached my finger in here. You can see these little clips, little plastic pieces that go into the slots, and I can just pull those out along, etc. And there we go. Easy peasy, that kind of falls right out. This has little clips on the back side of it here. Some of these spots, and the new piece over here in the box is going to need some of these metal clips. So I'm going to take a moment to take these out of the bag, put the clips onto here, and then we will put this piece in place of that piece. And of course, this little cutout down here goes to where your cabin air filter is. You might have seen one of the prior videos I did about replacing the cabin air filter. If you haven't, please check some of the other articles on our site. And while I'm talking about the site, please do subscribe to the site, to the article blog, as well as our YouTube videos. I do have some folks who, want to make sure we have a good reach, a good audience, before they're willing to work with us on getting some parts in for doing installation and test videos such as this one. So with that, please do subscribe. All right, I'm going to move on to stopping the video for a second, putting these clips on, won't bore you with that, and getting this piece inserted back into the main panel. Okay, I'm back. I have installed all the clips. It looks like they gave me one extra clip in the bag, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 clips that get installed on the back of this piece. So now it should be as easy as just taking this piece out and installing it over here. So let's go do that. All right, we're back. I've got this piece lined up. You want to make sure, of course, that the wires are going to go through there, but you can see all of kind of the holes and the various slots that it lines up with. It should just be a matter of pushing those things through, pushing them in until they click. There we go. Snap that on that side. Let's go around. We can look on the back side if you want. Sure enough, all of the little clips are through. We've got our wires right here. Now, that is something I noticed. We do have the foam here around this back side, and technically this wire would have to come out through this foam somewhere. So not that it's a huge deal. I guess maybe I could have the wires connect in. Not that it's a huge deal, but technically this is supposed to make an airtight seal. I maybe would have preferred that these wires here would have come up maybe through here, somewhere else a little bit higher. I mean, I don't think it's going to hurt anything. We're talking about just tiny wires and a little tiny piece of foam. I don't think that's going to let a lot of dirt or debris in around, but just as maybe a future design consideration. Oh well, is what it is. I'm sure it'll probably be fine. I noticed there's even foam around some of these down here. So let's get this installed back into the truck. But before we do, we're going to have to put in the wiring harness pieces that these connect to. So let's get to that next. Okay, the kit comes with 2 different wiring harness pieces. One of them is kind of thicker, longer, has the red and black wires here, has the big fitting on the end. That is going to tie into here, the top of our headlight. And I'll show you that in just a moment. And then this one with the yellow wire is going to tie into the switch, the frunk opening switch. So let me undo this wire and we will disconnect this from the headlight. And that's easy enough to do. It's got a little red clip here. You're going to pull back on that little red clip and then squeeze this, and this should just pull right out. I say should just pull right out. Make sure this is out all the way. There we go. And it comes right out if it's pulled out all the way. So there we go. We have this fitting that comes from the top of the headlight. We're going to put that in line with this fitting. Give me a second to take this twist tie off. And then the other end of this wire will connect to one of our fittings there. Okay, I want to show you how these fittings go. first off, you know, again, it is kind of a pass-through wire where we're putting a tap in between the wiring harness from the truck into the light itself. So the first one with this fitting, the little gray tab on the top, is going to go into the top of the headlight where we pulled this one out of. So that's just simply we line that up, we push that little locking pin in, and bingo, that's in. Next, we have this longer piece here, and see how it has kind of a thick side to one of it? That side actually goes down, so like away from that red clip. And then we're going to take and insert that into here. I always love doing this one-handed. And putting that together, I heard it snap, and then I lock that in with the red piece, and that's good. So this whole piece, I can just tuck that down out of the way, down here. It's good. And that gives us the wire that's going to end up connecting to this red and black wire here. So, and I'll bring this back up and set it up here to make a connection, but right now I'm just wiring some of these pieces in. So let me take this one apart next, and then we'll get it tapped into here. Okay, next item is tapping this other wire into the wire for the Frunk switch. I did notice that this fitting can go either direction in this receptacle. It's not keyed to any particular way to go in or out. I'm going to try it this direction so you can see kind of how the wires, I've got the yellow, then the, brown, and then a white wire. And then on this side, it's got the red, the black, and the blue. Nice color matching here, folks. But it could go the other way. I don't know if it makes a difference. I'm going to insert it this way. We're going to test everything out. If it works great, then I can go this way. Maybe it could be reversed and it doesn't matter which direction it is. But for now, I'm going to click that in here because, I mean, it slides in, clicks nicely. Okay, great. I'm just saying I think it could technically go either way because it wasn't keyed. Now, this piece is obviously keyed and only goes one way into the back of the Frunk switch that's on the back side of this switch here. Here, I can lift that up. You can see it underneath here. That only goes one direction. So now something else I want to caution here too, because you will have two wires, additional wires connected to the back. If your car's in for service and for some reason they have to pull out this Frunk plastic, they're only going to be thinking about this wire at the Frunk switch. You better tell them, hey, I've got two additional wires that light inside my Frunk that lights up Cybertruck. When you pull out this Frunk plastic, if they need to service something back here, maybe the octavalve, I don't know, but whatever they're doing, they're going to need to know it's there. So be sure and let them know you're going to have these two extra wires. So with that being said, I'm going to pause a second. I'm going to lift this up, set it here so I can connect those two wires to the respective ones here, and then we will test everything out. All right, now you can see I have connected those wires. They're just simple clips that go in, snap into place. They only go in one direction. And I've got that wired in. Now I don't have these zip tied up or anything yet. Again, I'm just going to do for testing purposes. But I do need to hook up this piece to the Frunk switch. So let me get that done real quick. I'm going to have to put the camera down just a second to do that. Okay, I've connected that wire into the Frunk switch, and again, that only goes one way. Our Frunk switch is lit up, so that makes me think that, hey, it probably works. But I'm going to have to go turn the headlights on and press the button and give this a try. Okay, so I simply opened the door to the Cybertruck, and of course my little starlight bar comes on there, but this also lit up as well. I guess maybe we'll press the Frunk button and see what we get. We'll close and then we'll open back up and see if it reignites there. Okay, let's walk up closely here. It should, because I'm standing close with my phone. Here we go. There we are. Now it's opening up the Frunk. All right, so that's dark. And that should, there you go, you can see it light up. Oh, I do see like how on the video, maybe it seems to flicker a little on video, but does not flicker at all in real life. And this is very, very bright. You can see the kind of the glow, the light shining up there. So that does look really good, especially with that front bar in place as well. So at this point, all I need to do is just, kind of put these screws back in place, put the plastic trim back in place, and I am done. Thank you very much for watching. I want to thank Foronetry and AnySix for providing this item for this review. It was shipped out quite quickly. I got this probably one of the fastest things I've received recently in only a few days. I think the last time I spoke with them, they were actually out of stock because they had sold a lot of these. So maybe many of you are in the process of installing your own. But it's a nice addition. No complaints, easy install, especially if you've kind of pulled this plastic in and out of the frunk a few times. Maybe this evening when it's dark, I'll get some video and tack onto this one. But again, please do subscribe to this blog. Should be a form either to the right or to the bottom of this article, depending on whether you're on a phone or a laptop, or from our homepage, you can subscribe there as well. Obviously, a YouTube channel, you know how to subscribe to the videos. So if you're simply watching this on YouTube, please subscribe there. I appreciate your time in watching these videos. If there's anything in particular you'd like to see us work on the Cybertruck next, please let us know. I do have a couple more articles coming this month, and I do strive to do multiple articles every month. This was Tesla Ken for the HaloCybertruck.com website. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned.